Hello everyone and welcome back to a Cupid Parasite Sweet and Spicy Darling. We're going to be continuing down Ryuki's route. This is the third episode in his route of the fan disc, so if you have not seen the first game, I recommend going and watching that first. That's the only save file I have, so I guess this is what I'm going to load. Between reason and emotion. I'm starting very late because, frankly, I just forgot that I haven't done a video today and I need to do one because Code Realize was recorded early and tomorrow's episode was recorded early too. So I was like, kind of forgot there's one in between that I have to release as well. So this one might be short or it might just come out really late, and I apologize. It was Thursday night, the evening designated for my date with Ryuki. After work, I quickly headed to Ryuki's house so we could have dinner at his place. I buzzed the intercom, but there was no response. That's odd. Maybe he forgot about tonight. Thankfully, Ryuki had given me a spare key in case of emergencies. Ryuki, I'm coming in. Entering the house, I was immediately met with angry shouting.
そんな態度でプロだとでも言うおつもり?
Uh-oh, his grandma's there. An angry voice echoed throughout the house, stopping me in my tracks. Carefully peeking into the room, I saw Ryuki and his grandmother in a heated conversation.
プロなら仕事に指示を挟んではダメだとお前には教えたでしょ。それだというのにこれは何?
Except for the emotion love, because that's what got him her approval in the first place.
前に使っていたモデルを途中で降板させて、サイズの合っていないモデルなど使うなんて。お前はこれまで何を学んできたの?
Not his fault. Brow got too big. He got rid of his model. Confused, I quickly checked the Ryuki homepage on my smartphone. All of the photos and images of Ray were gone. Oh, he replaced Ray. Instead, pictures of Rao wearing Ryuki's clothes were uploaded. The clothes clung to his muscles as if they were about to rip.
何この無様な写真は。サイズも合っていなければシルエットもダメ。色味だって調整できていないわ。
So he put Rao back in his clothes and he can't fit.
お前は本当にこのモデルで服の良さが伝わるとでも思ったの?
He has an inferiority complex with Ray.
それは
言っておくけれど、これがラウル・アーコニットでなければもっと大きな問題になっていたわ。モデルの人気のおかげで騒ぎは最小限になっただけ。でも龍騎の評価が下がったのは事実よ。お前は自分のブランドの名前を自分の手で汚したの。デザイナーは服の奴隷になりなさい。嫉妬を覚えるなとは言わないわ。どのような感情もデザインの糧にはなる。でも重要な決断を下すときには市場など捨てなさい。それができないならデザイナーと名乗るのはやめることね。
違います。僕はただもともといいと思っていた最初のモデルに戻しただけで、市場を挟んだわけでは。
つまりお前はこれが一番自分のブランドにとって最善だと判断したの?
No, just before the episode ended last, he knew Ray was the best fit. Doesn't like him. Ryuki fell silent, nodding in response.
はい。
そう。けれど、本気でそう思っているのであれば、視線をそらしながら言うんじゃありません。
She's like, you're lying.
お前も本当はこれがいけないことだと理解できているはずよ。でなければ断言できるでしょ。この写真こそ自分の最高傑作だと。
Ryuki didn't respond to her words. It was clear that Rao wasn't showcasing Ryuki's designs at their best. He understood that himself. Ryuki realized his decision wasn't in the best interest of his designs, yet I could sense that he couldn't admit it.
そう。 お前は認めないのね。自分のデザイナーの勘よりも市場を優先させるの。龍騎、お前がそのようなデザイナーに本気でなりたいというなら好きになさい。でも掲載員のデザイナーたる私が認めるわけにはいかない。
I thought you've already given that to him.
もしお前がこれを肯定するようであれば、掲載員の名を使う許可は出せない。
Can you do that though after you pass it on?
結婚も認められません。
Oh my goodness. Well, now you're taking personal life into work, and should you not be doing that? That's not right. Huh? I was hiding, but I couldn't stop myself from gasping at the same time as Ryuki. Ryuki looked taken aback as his grandmother glared at him sternly.
もし少しでも挽回するつもりがあるなら、今度開催されるワールドファッションアワードでグランプリを勝ち取りなさい。
The World Fashion Awards, that's the fashion show that the party was for.
ワールドファッションアワードは世界中のブランドを対象とした新しいコンテストよ。そこで私が審査員をすることになったの。他にもファッション誌バーグ編集長やシリウッド俳優たちも審査すると聞いているわ。しかも主催はあのオマールホールディングス、ロサンヨーク最大級のファッションアワードになるでしょうね。世界的なファッションウィークに出展できるようなブランドになるために、これは逃せないチャンスになるわ。皆もそう分かっているのでしょうね。コーレイやアバンチーも出るそうよ。勝つのは簡単ではないでしょう。だからこそそこで勝てさえすれば、私はお前を一流のデザイナーとして認め、結婚も認めるわ。けれどお前が私に反抗し、自分の思い描くデザイナーの道を進むというなら、掲載員家の敷居をまたぐのを禁じます。当然でしょう。あのような判断をデザイナー、掲載員ノリエが許せるはずありません。作品を貶める存在は作り手であっても許してはならない。それが私の考えよ。龍騎、私はあなたに一流のデザイナーになってほしいと思っているの。もちろん私のやり方が間違っている時もある。一流になるために取る道も決して一本だけとは限らない。だからモデルを降板させたことが最善だというならば、その信念を貫けるはずよ。自分の取った行動に責任を持ちなさい。
With that, his grandmother rose and moved towards the exit. Yikes, she's coming. I was wondering if she was going to acknowledge her. I hastily left and tried to hide behind one of the trees lining the street, but it was too late.
リネットさん、
Good evening. I broke into a cold sweat and turned around. I had expected her to be angry, but she surprised me with a warm smile.
ごめんなさいね。驚かせてしまって。少しお時間いただけるかしら？
And just like that, I found myself sitting in a nearby cafe with Ryuki's grandmother, Miss Nori.
それで、どう説明すればいいかしら。さっきの龍騎との会話、聞いていらしたのよね。
Yes, and I'm truly sorry.
いいのよ。今日は龍騎とお夕食を食べる予定だったのでしょ。急に会いに来たのは私の方ですからね。
Despite Miss Nori's gentle smile, I didn't feel relaxed at all. After all, she had just threatened to disapprove of our wedding. Her words was absolute to Ryuki. He was probably in a state of shock at home. I wanted to rush to him, but my curiosity about her earlier statement held me back. I chose my words carefully as I spoke to Miss Nori. About what you said earlier, was it true that you wouldn't support our marriage?
そうね。嘘偽りない私の本心よ。龍騎に一流のデザイナーになってほしいという気持ちだけはね。でも結婚の話は嘘よ。祝福しているし認めたい。 そう思っているのよ。
Really?
もちろんよ。あの龍騎が心から選んだお嬢さんよ。結婚式の日にちが決まったと連絡をもらって、本当に私も嬉しかったわ。
At least she's not truly heartless. So Ryuki reached out to Miss Nori. I know it's common for family to disapprove of marriages, but not because of a work-related choice. Ryuki had informed her about our wedding plan, so her previous words must have hit him hard. Why did you say you weren't going to approve of our wedding? I asked as genuinely as I could, and Miss Nori responded with a strained smile.
あまりに若い頃の私にそっくりだからよ。
Huh?
龍騎はモデルを降板させて写真を差し替えた。市場のみでね。現場のスタッフから聞いたのだけれど、あのレイアンダーはあなたの骨格を気に入っていたのですって？
Yes, he only seemed interested in my body frame.
そうね。でも龍騎にはだけでも許せなかった。アンダー氏が類いまれなる才能を持っているところも龍騎の劣等感を刺激したんでしょう。
There you go, inferiority complex.
だから写真をすべて差し替えた。あの子は劣等感と嫉妬で作品を台無しにしたのよ。
Really? Not because there was any sort of trouble?
ちょうど私もあの事務所と仕事をする用事があったから聞いたの。特にトラブルはなかったわ。
Oh yeah, Ryuki has like a spy in his own agency from this story. I can't believe Ryuki forgot about that.
もともとの約束でアコニット氏を使う予定だったから、改めて体型が戻った今撮影をし直したい。そんな連絡だったそうよ。体型はまだ戻りきっていないのに。
Miss Nori let out a weary sigh, then turned her gaze to Rao's modeling photo in Ryuki's clothing line.
服のためにモデル変更をするのでもなく、才能あるデザイナーに嫉妬して奮起するでもない。ただの市場で自分の仕事をおろそかにした。しかも本当は良くないと気づいていながらね。
I'm sorry, I feel like this is my fault.
あら、あなたのせいではないわ。むしろこうしたチャンスをくれたことに感謝しているのよ。
Thank you for having a good body frame so Ryuki would get jealous and push himself even further. Opportunity?
これは早いうちにぶつかった方がいい壁なの。市場と仕事の折り合いのつけ方は今のうちに覚えておいた方がいいのよ。私も若い時にはそうして失敗したわ。性格が気に入らないというだけでパタンナーをクビにしたりして。ずっと後悔しているの。だから龍騎にも市場と仕事を切り分ける術を覚えてほしいのよ。
That's why you gave him that ultimatum concerning the World of Fashion Awards.
ええ、課題を出せば許す口実もできるでしょ。あの子はまだ若いからここで直した方がいいわ。龍騎にはこの苦難を乗り越えてほしいの。あの子ならできると信じているもの。だからあなたも黙って見守ってあげてちょうだい。これは龍騎にとって必要な試練なのよ。
Miss Nori offered a confident smile. Her resilient gaze told me that she had weathered many storms in her life. I felt like she was silently imploring me to keep this conversation a secret from Ryuki. I hesitantly nodded in agreement. Ryuki, I'm sorry I'm late. After saying goodbye to Miss Nori, I returned to Ryuki's house and found him feverishly sketching designs. Ryuki?
Oh.
Finally realizing I was there, Ryuki abruptly stopped sketching. He turned to look at me with a hint of apprehension in his eyes.
リネット。さっきさ、僕がおばあ様に怒られていた時来てたよね。
You failed your stealth check for both of them. It doesn't help when you gasp out loud either. He knew. Well, I had rung the doorbell, so he must have noticed. I know, I'd not seen your arrival. Deciding honesty was the best approach, I nodded in confirmation. Ryuki responded with a faint smile.
だよね。あんたが来るって言った時間に遅れるはずないし。
Such a promise. I'm sorry for eavesdropping.
いや、僕の方こそごめん。あんたが来たのに反応できなくて。
Well. Awkward silence. This is so awkward. I looked around the room in an effort to find something I can use to change the subject. Make some coffee. I think that's the right answer. There's no second choice, so wake up Kagura. Aha, maybe Kagura can help break the ice. Kagura, are you falling asleep? How about we play for a bit? She's like, no.
かぐら、もう眠いって。そっとしてあげて。
Okay, I'm sorry. That was quick. Back to this. Are those new designs? I was hoping to break the silence. Ryuki quickly shielded his sketches with his hand before nodding.
うん。ワールドファッションアワードに出ようと思って。って、さっきの話聞いてたなら知ってるか。ごめん。あんな話になっちゃって。
No, it's fine. I'm genuinely curious about the new designs you're creating, Ryuki. Got any fresh ideas? Alright, I think that goes back to the coffee one, so. Alright, make some coffee. How about I make us some coffee?
いらない。この場所でこぼしたら悲惨だから。
He isn't like either one. By here, I assumed he meant his workspace. That makes sense. I'm sorry. I guess I should have just skipped ahead anyway.
うん。って。
In an attempt to change the subject, I focused on his work. Ryuki turned his drawings face down so that I couldn't see what he had sketched.
いろいろ。最近のトレンドを入れたものにしようとは思ってるよ。
Why is he hiding it, though? He usually shares everything with her.
でも、いい案が浮かばないから悩んでたところなんだ。全然ダメだ。ワールドファッションアワードはかなり特殊なルールにしたらしくてさ。これまでの常識が通用しないんだ。出せる服は一着だけ。モデルもたった一人。それだけで勝負しないといけないんだ。普通なら何十着も作れるから、そこで自分の表現したいものを伝えられるけれど、今回はたった一つで勝負しないといけない。モデルの素質にも勝敗は左右されるはずなんだ。だから、モデルが決まらなきゃ、イメージも膨らまない。先に決めなきゃ、勝つためのモデルをさ。
With that, Ryuki crumpled up all the sketches on his desk. Peeking through the wadded papers, I saw a sketch of a model who bore a striking resemblance to Ray. That's what he did want her to see. After dinner, which was enveloped by a somber mood, we found ourselves sitting on the porch sipping tea while we gazed up at the night sky. Wow, this tea tastes incredible.
うん。
You know, I heard about the new donut shop that just opened up on 7th Avenue. Why don't we give it a try sometime?
うん。
Yikes, the mood hasn't gotten any better. I couldn't hold it against Ray. His revered grandmother had just berated him, stating that he needed to prove his worth. Ryuki, maybe your grandmother was a bit harsher than she needed to be. I deliberately omitted the details of what she told me earlier, hoping to lift Ryuki's spirits. He simply shook his head in response.
おばあさまが言い過ぎることなんてないよ。それに言ってることは全部正しかったんだ。僕がデザイナーとして未熟で おばあ様が認められないレベルまで落ちたのは事実なんだ。だから無理に励まさなくていいよ。
But I'm not forcing.
おばあ様の言葉が正しいって知ってるんだ。僕が認めたくなくて意地を張っただけ。だから僕はおばあ様を納得させられるようなデザインを描いて勝って納得させないと。今の僕にできるのはそれだけだよ。
She did express her support for our marriage, but I promised I wouldn't tell him. She merely voiced her desire for Ryuki to grow through this trial and evolve as a designer. But even if I were to disclose that, I doubted Ryuki would believe my words. In fact, he'd probably think I was lying just to lift his spirits. So the only course of action left for me was to stand by him and silently support him. I guess I'll have to do my best too then.
Eh?
I'm going to stay right here with you so you can concentrate, Ryuki. Aw, that's so cute. I think it's time for you to move in with him now, so you can support him in all his designs until the awards. I whispered those words into his ear and rested my head on his shoulder. I hoped that he could find some solace in my presence.
リネット。
Nevertheless, his voice carried a hint of worry. It was as if he believed our marriage wouldn't come to pass, even with me by his side without Miss Norie's blessing.
ありがとう。
With some hesitation, Ryuki slid his arm around my shoulder, resting his head against mine as if seeking comfort.
さ。
ん？
今晩は泊まっていってよ。
He finally asked. His voice trembled slightly. He was trying to sound strong and pretend nothing happened, each word drawn from the deepest reserves of his courage. Ryuki did his best to mask his anxiety, seeking comfort in my presence. In response to his request, okay, I'll stay the night. I felt the tension ease from his shoulder with my acceptance.
ありがとう。
His hand moved from my shoulder, gently cradling my chin and lightly touching my ear. He lifted my face towards his eyes anxious as they met mine. I closed my eyes, ignoring the nervousness, and waited for his kiss. Our lips met again and again in the darkness. His kisses grew deeper and more passionate with each one. His loneliness and anxiety made our every touch feverishly hot. Oh my goodness. He clung to me like I'd disappear, then he wrenched his hand away, biting the back of it to punish himself for his vulnerability. In response, I wrapped my arms around him as if trying to prevent an unripe fruit from falling. I looked up to see the night sky sparkling right behind him. The trial. Here we go. Morning came. Oh, it's really bright in there now. Well, I need to head to work now. I'm on the late shift today, so I'm planning to go home tonight. Is that okay?
うん、大丈夫。僕も夜打ち合わせがあるから。
Okay, remember to eat dinner.
わかった。
I laugh because if I'm not around, my husband won't eat dinner. I have to make him eat. Will you let me know when we can see each other again?
うん。
Well, I'll be going now.
いってらっしゃい。
After I left Ryuki's house, I boarded the subway, letting out a deep sigh. Ryuki didn't look so good. The words his grandmother had said were probably eating away at him. I had worn the ring today to try and cheer him up, but he didn't even notice. I hope he doesn't get sick again like last time. As I arrived at work, fretting about Ryuki's well-being, I was met by a panicked advisor.
ミラさん、ああ、よかった。ちょっとお手上げなんだけど、手伝ってもらえない？
Help, what happened?
それが、あの失恋パラサイトが全然マッチングに積極的になってくれないのよ。
He isn't cooperating. Why not? What's wrong with you? I mean, did you join back to find what is wrong? Yeah, huh? The level of Parasite Do you mean Gil Lovecraft?
そうそう。あの人、つい最近また入会してきたから私が担当になったんだけど、全然うまくいかないの。
Why would you re-enroll and then go against your advisor? He's back.
そうなの。失恋を忘れるためにとか本人は言ってるくせに、あの子の話ばっかり。
Ryuki knew about this before she did.
だからお願い。ちょっと話してくれない？今面談室にいるから。
Wait, I don't think I'm...
知ってるわよ。あなたが彼の失恋相手だって言うんでしょ？
I was shocked that she knew that, but then she looked at me before shrugging.
だってバレバレなんだもの。聞いてればわかるわ。だから余計に彼に現実を教えてあげてほしいの。あなた婚約したでしょ？きちんと振ってあげなきゃあの人5年も10年もずーっと失恋パラサイトよ。ってことでよろしく。
I ended up in the meeting room with Gil. It was awkward talking to Gil, but if he was still hung up on his love for me, I had to help him move forward. I used to think that he was down because of Claire's, but now knowing that he had feelings for me, I had to do this for his own good.
久しぶりだね。元気？
Awkward laugh. You came back again, Gil.
うん。やっぱり君に会いたくて。
That's the only reason why I'm sorry with Gil. You're pitiful. Gil,
なんでもない。アドバイザーへの恋は規約で禁止されてたもんな。
she's engaged.
それより君が担当アドバイザーになってくれるならこんなに心強いことはないよ。
Gil, are you sure you want to find a new love?
合ってます。
What? Really?
最近は映画のコラムの仕事をやってるんだけど、恋愛映画ばっか見ててさ。
Just notice this sucks in English.
そのせいで自分も恋愛したくなったんだよ。正確にはそのコラム書いた雑誌の広告で君を見かけちゃったせいなんだけど。
You just want to come back to see if she would change her mind. Okay, Gil, what kind of person are you hoping to meet?
そりゃ君とみたいな。ごめん、なんでも。
Not the one that That's funny. Alright, can you tell me what's been going on in your life recently? As I started talking to him as though he were my client, Gil's eyes sparkled as he pulled out a magazine.
俺、最近はこの映画雑誌ムービームーンで仕事してるんだ。ほらここ、ラブクラフトの恋愛映画コーナー。それでこの間インタビューの仕事でラウルにも会ってさ。
Gil continued to speak at a rapid pace, flipping through the movie magazine. Suddenly, he stopped on a certain page.
そういえば映画コラムを書いてるゴールデンアップルって知ってる？
Golden Apple.
俺が子供の頃から好きなコラムニストなんだけど、すごくいい文章を書くんだ。特にラウルの出演作の時は熱の入れようが違っててさ、なんかその執念みたいなのに共感したんだよね。匿名で書いているからどんな人なのかわからないんだけど、俺の勝手な予想だとダンディーでアクティブでスマートで。で、そうじゃなくてそのゴールデンアップルがワールドファッションアワードに出るらしいんだ。
Totally right. The World Fashion Awards.
知ってる？新しくロサンヨークで開催される大型のファッションイベントなんだけど、ゴールデンアップルこれを機にインステアカウントも開設したみたいで、そこに上がってるデザインが本当にすごいんだ。 世の中には何でもできる人っているんだね。俺もそうなりたいな。
Someone that talented is going to participate in the World Fashion Awards. The Instagram account Gil showed me had a massive following. It was filled with innovative designs and lavish works in progress. Maybe it's not Ray, because Ray's not a designer, he's a model. Ryuki would be competing against this person in the World Fashion Awards. I mean, maybe he does design, I don't know. There were already a number of renowned designers who had announced their participation, but here was another formidable contender. Ryuki, I hope he isn't putting too much pressure on himself.
というか、あれ珍しい指輪してるね。もしかしてそれって。
Do you not know that she's engaged yet? Oh yes, it's an engagement ring.
婚約指輪
I mean, I guess it hasn't been too long since they got engaged. If there's 6 months to his birthday, then they've been engaged for 6 months. But then again, I don't think she's actually been talking to him. Gil gasped sharply, and the next moment he fell to the floor. Gil?
ちょっとミラーさん、大丈夫？すごい音がしたけど。
That's funny.
救急車呼ぶ？
大丈夫です。
ああ、もしかして彼女の婚約指輪に気がついたのかしら。
It sounded like he threw up. Just as Gil started to pick himself up, my colleague's words landed a devastating blow.
まったく、あなたも大変な人ね。ほら、ちゃんと失恋をかみしめて、次の恋を頑張りましょう。ちゃんと担当アドバイザーの私がサポートしますから。
リネットが俺の担当アドバイザーになったんじゃないの？
How do you not know this? If you've been making things difficult for her, like, you haven't even talked to Lynette till today, I don't understand.
規約違反で大会処分になっていいならそうしますな。
大会します。
はあ？言っちゃった。
He was probably, yeah, he came in hoping for a second shot and realized he's not going to get it. He certainly did. Seeing Gil walk away with his shoulders slumped made me feel a bit guilty. But part of me also felt relieved that he discovered my engagement before things escalated. I didn't want to disrupt his life more than necessary.
さすがは失恋パラサイト。筋金入りね。ま、後で連絡してもう一度婚活しないか聞いてみるわ。
Thank you.
平気平気。どんな会員も恋に導くのが私たちアドバイザーの仕事だもの。しかしパラサイト5も大変ね。外見パラサイト以外全員成婚しそうにないんだもの。
Hey, Ryuki did.
ま、彼のやり方じゃあなたがフリーでも無理そうね。ちゃんと手順踏んでアプローチしないと恋は実らないんだから。
She shrugged before exiting the meeting room. On the floor laid a movie magazine Gil must have dropped during his fall. It was open to a column about Golden Apple. Ryuki was focused on the upcoming World Fashion Awards, but I had a hunch that things may not go as planned. Is he at an agency? Okay, yeah, today I visited Rao's agency. I was on the hunt for a model to showcase my designs at the World Fashion Awards. I thought it best to handpick the model myself.
まさかこんな大きい事務所でもろくなモデルがいないとはね。
Height, build, muscles, face, complexion, hair, lips. Not one model met my expectations, leading me to sit in the reception room. I tried to figure out my next move.
理想とする体型じゃないけどラウルにでもしとくか。組んだことあるから勝手も分かってるし。でもあいつまだ筋肉質だしな。
Rob mentioned he was booked for another action movie which was probably why he bulked up. I knew what I needed to do. I had to get Ray to model for me.
でも
The door opened suddenly and in walked the very person I was just thinking about.
本当に君がうちに来てたんだね。
Okay, so from that profile, maybe he's not. Maybe Golden Apple is not Ray because his hair looks different. His color's not as bulky.
新しい広告見たよ。俺の方がいいってよくわかったんじゃない？それを実際に比べたくてわざわざ試してくれたんだろ？
うるさいな。なんであんたがここにいるんだよ。
俺の所属する事務所なんだから別にどこにいたっていいだろ？
あんたを視界に入れたくないんだけど。
へえ、俺のことが色じゃなくてちゃんと認識できるんだ。顔面偏差値ってやつがあって A ランクとか B ランクとかに分けてるって聞いたけど。
I didn't recall mentioning the system to Ray before. It must have been the mid-tier models who informed him. I could only recognize the faces of those in the 70 grade S rank tier. That was why I couldn't remember more than half of the models' faces here. As for Ray, his rank was unquestionably S tier, far beyond a 70 grade.
だから本当は分かってる。
To win the World Fashion Awards, I needed him to model my designs.
俺の良さは分かっていながら写真の差し替えをするなんてね。まさか君がここまで凡人志向だとは思わなかったよ。悲しいな。ま、努力しないとその外見を保てない時点で凡人か。
I knew. I understood that I couldn't become a top-tier designer if I let my emotions influence my work. I knew this, but I couldn't say it out loud.
ああ、それより龍騎と掲載員フィンの次シーズン、モデルは俺と彼女がいいと思うんだよ。
彼女ってまさかリネット。
He's like, how dare you mention her name?
老舗ブランド掲載員のセカンドラインでレディースブランドの掲載員フィンと同デザイナーが展開するメンズブランドの龍騎、その2つのブランドを完璧な骨格相性のモデル2人が橋渡しをする最高のプランだと思うんだけど。まあ本来ならモデルの俺が考えてあげる筋合いはないんだけど、これはいい骨格を見つけたサービスだよ。ああ、でも凡人の君にはわからないかな。俺と彼女の骨格ペアは100年に一度ぐらいの相性で。
Ray kept babbling about her phenomenal body frame.
聞きたくない。
It was agonizing to be treated like a novice and listen to him talk about her like that. I never encountered such an arrogant model. I didn't want to ask him to be my model. I didn't want to use him at all. It was downright humiliating.
僕が凡人だって？は、あんたの方がよっぽどじゃないか。あんたの色は僕の作る服に合わない。だからあんたを降板させたんだよ。僕のデザインにふさわしいモデルは他にいる。
There he goes again, lashing out with emotions.
あんたこそスキンケアの大切さが理解できないなんて、そのうち絶対に苦労する。その時に慌てたって無駄だよ。
After spitting out my anger, I swiftly left the agency. It felt terrible, almost like I was running away. Before long, I found myself at Cupid Corplanet's workplace.
ここに来るつもりじゃなかったのに。
I intended to visit another agency to scout for my model, but somehow I ended up here. How utterly pathetic.
帰らなきゃ。あいつに会っても問題は解決しないんだから。
I need to concentrate on finding a model and perfecting my design. I knew that, but my legs trembled and I couldn't get myself to move. Maybe I could be more self-assured if we were married, or at least registered to marry. I wouldn't worry about her being swept away by Gil or Ray if only we were married. But I couldn't. My grandmother hadn't improved. I hadn't met Lynette's parents yet.
でも、別におばあ様は認めないって言っただけで、しちゃいけないとは言ってない。
We'd secured the venue for our wedding and were slowly preparing for the big day. Our marriage was a certainty. All that was left was to earn my grandmother's approval and the right to use the Keisayan name.
ならせめて、あいつの両親に挨拶だけでも済ませておいた方がいいよな。
As the wedding day approached, things were becoming more hectic. Introducing myself as soon as possible was the proper thing to do.
やっぱり、言わなきゃダメだ。あいつに、両親を紹介してって。
However, in my current state, I wasn't sure if I could muster the courage to ask her that. But waiting for her to act was even more stressful.
ちゃんと言わなきゃ。言えるようにならなきゃ。
Just introduce them. I mean, so what if they are dressed weird? That's all you need to do, and then he'll be happy. Ryuki? A familiar voice made me look up. It was Lynette.
なんでここに？
She works here. Stepping out of Cupid Court for my break, I found Ryuki waiting outside. I thought I'd grab some dinner now that I have a moment. What are you doing here, Ryuki?
いや、僕は仕事帰りで。
On his way home? Something didn't add up. I had a hunch he was here to see me. Unable to contain my excitement, I rushed to his side. Let's see. Invite him to a stroll is the right answer, so we're going to invite him to dinner. How about we get dinner together then?
いいの？
Oh, he's blushing. Of course, I only have an hour, so we'll have to find some place nearby, but does that sound good? Oh. Ryuki looked happy as he responded to my invitation. He was a lot more expressive than he used to be. He would actually smile when he was happy and frown when he was angry. That was why I was thrilled to see him smiling now, especially after seeing him arrive looking so bothered. Okay, where should we go? Oh, how about that donut shop you brought up before?
ドーナツ？夕飯に？
I know, right? I checked and they have a wide variety of flavors. Plus they serve pretzels too. Could be a fun change of pace. What do you think?
行ってみる。
Ryuki agreed and there was an unexpected tension in his eyes. I wonder if the walk is going to end up here. Probably. Alright, invite him for a stroll. Ordering and eating food would probably take time, so walking would probably give us more time to talk. How about we take a stroll? I only have an hour, but we can chat for a bit.
いいの？でも、お腹空いてるんじゃ。
Before Ryuki could finish, my stomach growled loudly. I hadn't realized how famished I was, probably due to the heavy workload today. This is so embarrassing.
やっぱりお腹空いてるよね。食べに行くなら、ついて行っていい？僕も夜ご飯まだだから。
Of course, I love that.
ありがとう。
Ryuki seemed genuinely pleased as he thanked me. He was a lot more expressive than he used to be. He would actually smile when he was happy and frown when he was angry. Go to the donut shop.
ドーナツ？
Donut shop.
行ってみる。
They have like their menu on the wall with like very well made, very well designed donuts. Oh, they're so cute. They're cute. Donuts are cute. I guess, okay, if they have like those little green cherries on them, I guess, for lack of a better word. There's like one for each of them. Like there's one for Lynette, there's one for Ryuki, Raul, Alan, Shelby. Isn't there another one? Jupiter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. Whatever. Actually, wait, which one's Guilt? 1, 2. I guess the pink ones are Guilts. Maybe the red ones over there. Okay, yeah, they're all of them are here. But what? I don't know what the sprinkled ones would be over there. Maybe the new Parasite. There is 6 now, isn't there? Or 7. Behind the shop's glass displayed were vibrant and enticing donuts. I think I'll choose this one, and maybe this. What about you, Ryuki? Speaking of donuts, my daughter wants to go get donuts tomorrow morning on the way to band. It was completely random. She was like, I don't have to be at band at 6:40 tomorrow. I have to be there at 7, so we can go get donuts. Like, I guess.
僕はあんまお腹減ってないからコーヒーだけでいい。
You just said you hadn't eaten, and now you're not really hungry. Which is it? The Ryuki shy away from the colorful donuts, reminding me of when he was sick with a fever. Back then, he was so engrossed in his designs that he often neglected to eat, drink, or sleep, which ended up making him ill. It's probably because they're donuts, and he has a skin complexion thing. Are you eating properly these days? Not now worried, I had to make sure. A faint blush spread on his cheeks.
平気。納豆食べてれば問題ないから。
All he needs is natto.
でもやっぱこれ食べる。あんたと同じ味食べたいから。
I sighed in relief as Ryuki decided to get a donut. I'm glad he wants some. After we bought our donuts, we found a table in the shop. Well, let's give these a try. It's called Mo Donuts.
いただきます。
These are delicious. We eagerly started on our donuts and pretzels. But something about Ryuki's behavior still seemed off. He would take a bite, then glance around nervously. I felt like he had something he wanted to tell me. After a while, Ryuki finally gathered the courage to speak.
あのさ、あんたにお願いがあるんだけど。
What is it?
そのさ、挨拶のことなんだけど。
Introductions?
あんたの両親に。
あら、Q ちゃんじゃない。
Right on cue. Our conversation was interrupted as Auntie walked in. Lady Minerva, what brings you here?
よくぞ聞いてくれました。実は彼に会えることになったからドーナツを買いに来たのよ。
Is it Ray?
ちゃんと手土産持っていかないといけないでしょ。
She blushed with joy. I had a feeling she was going to see Ray. She must be getting along well with Ray.
あんたはおばさ。
ちょっとレディー・ミネルヴァだって言ってるでしょ。おばさんって次読んだら雷落とすわよ。
I'll strike you with lightning. Lady Minerva chuckled with a smile. It would have sounded like an empty threat from anyone else, but from her it was a genuine warning. She would have summoned lightning.
だいたい彼女の本物のおばじゃないんだから親戚のお姉さんとして紹介してもらっても構わないと思うわよ。
え？本物のおばじゃない。どういうこと？
Oh, Ryuki, she really is family, or rather, I do consider her family, but...
ちょっと Q ちゃんやめてよ。あのヴィーナスやマーズと親戚だって思いたくないんだから。
Just say them out loud.
私はあくまでキューピッドのおば役よ。というか本物の神に血縁なんてあるわけないじゃない。
You can't just spill everything for her. Hey, Minerva, wait, I haven't told him that I am Cupid yet. Uh-oh.
あら、まだその話してなかったの？でもあなたの正体がキューピッドだったなんて大したことじゃないからいいじゃない。
They're just having this conversation like he's not even there. It does matter. I wasn't sure how people reacted back in ancient Greece when Auntie appeared, but I had no idea how Ryuki would act. Oh, Ryuki, just so you don't misunderstand.
私そろそろ行かなきゃ。実は彼と約束があるのよ。じゃあね、キューちゃん。元気でね。
Bye. Hey, Minerva. Classic way of breaking the ice is have some random third party come in and spill everything and then leave. And then they have to explain everything. And just like that, Auntie was gone, leaving chaos in her wake as usual. She had only dropped by to say hi, or perhaps to flaunt her newfound romance. Gods could be so selfish. I don't. Just thinking of her with Ray is like gross, because how old she is. I mean, she doesn't look young either. I was left behind to face the situation in a cold sweat. How did Ryuki take all that? Would he laugh it off, or did he believe her? I cautiously turned to Ryuki, took a deep breath, and began to speak. Ryuki, what my aunt said is true. I really used to be Cupid. I'm sorry, I meant to tell you sooner, but...
別に。
Huh? He didn't seem surprised or disturbed. If anything, he seemed disinterested. I watched Ryuki's face as he absently munched on his donut. Ryuki, did you hear me? Does he think you're lying? Huh? Is he ignoring me? It seemed like something else was on Ryuki's mind. My confession didn't seem to faze him at all. Ryuki?
ああ、うん。別に平気だよ。
What do you mean by fine? Suddenly my smartphone alarm went off. I only had 10 minutes before my break was over.
何?
Sorry, Ryuki, but I need to get back to work.
そっか。送ってく。
What's wrong with him? I don't understand. Okay, thank you. I wonder if it's like, well, if she's just going to lie to me, then there's no point in talking about it thing. We stood up and left Mo Donuts. The donuts were delicious, but the taste seemed like a distant memory now. Of course, we're not going to talk about it. She's got to go back to work. After Lynette went back to work, and I was going to think about it, I found myself aimlessly wandering the streets of Lost York. The fact that the woman she introduced as her aunt was actually related to her kept resurfacing in my mind.
あれが本物のおばじゃなかったってことは。じゃあ、僕はまだ本当の血縁に挨拶できてないってこと。
You think she's just saying she's not her aunt? I mean, Minerva herself said she wasn't her aunt. But why would she want to prevent me from meeting her family? Was the 100-grade lady I met before really her mother?
さすがに、それは、本当だよな。
100% woman.
本人も肯定してたはず。
Why didn't she want me to meet someone I'd already met?
やっぱり、僕に問題があるのか。
Yep, here he goes. Was I not good enough because I was a half-baked designer? Was it because I was scolded by my grandmother for being mediocre? Did she not trust me? I couldn't be it. She would never treat me like that. I believed her, but the anxiety kept building. It was probably because she didn't believe in myself. Or what? She didn't believe? It's probably because I didn't believe in myself. Okay. I hated myself. I wanted to hurry and become an exceptional designer above all the rest.
でも、僕は凡人だから。努力しても、本物の天才にはかなわない。
I didn't stand a chance against that natural-born model who didn't even need to take care of his skin. Suddenly, a message arrived in my inbox. It was from my sister.
姉さん、なんで？
My eyes widened in disbelief as I opened the URL she sent me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The up-and-coming designer Golden Apple has hired Ray Under as their model for the World Fashion Awards. Well, that's, not good.
新進気鋭のデザイナー、ゴールデンアップルが、レイアンダーをモデルに起用し、ワールドファッションアワードに参加。
That's not good at all. That was the first thing I saw in the news article.
嘘。太郎。
Ray had been taken by another designer. I should have felt relieved considering how much I disliked him and never wanted to use him as a model. But I knew that the model could make or break the chances of winning the competition. I knew that in order to win, I needed Ray.
分かってたのに。
A small yet big secret. I'm actually getting kind of frustrated with this, how long this is taking him to get over. All right, I'm actually going to stop the episode here because I have recorded all of Ryuki's route as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, and I was looking through to see how long the next section was because the sections kind of get longer as the story progresses. And the next section by itself is an hour. So if I include it in this one, it's going to be 2 hours long, and that's really long. So I'm thinking that this entire thing is going to be broken up into 3 episodes. So after this one, there's still 2 more episodes that's going to be left before the endings, which I wanted to avoid, but you can't help how long they are. So we're going to stop the episode here because I also have to edit my 9 rip video that is supposed to come out tonight. So there's going to be like 2 episodes coming out today because I couldn't get Cupid Parasite out yesterday or even in the middle of today because of my daughter's band competition. So you guys will just get 2. But I'm kind of like dozing off as I'm editing this, so I'm going to stop it here so I can go and edit that one, which is 2 hours long. So that's going to be unfortunate. So hopefully I don't get too sleepy, because if I get too sleepy, then it's just not going to come out tonight, because I don't want to make any mistakes editing. No one wants poor quality edits. So if you guys enjoyed, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.